everyone. Today we are presenting nursing with University of Central Lancashire. So it's our pleasure to have some key staffs here and from the UCLan. And also we have the principal lecturer in the nursing school, Rachel Game. Hi, Rachel.
Hi
And
everybody, good morning.
morning. And we have David here as well. Just say hello.
Hello.
Hi, Davy. And
Morning.
we also have Alexandra Haydock from the international office here, and she might introduce a little bit about the recruitment, about scholarship, if any guys will be interesting. Hi, Alexandra.
Good morning.
So let me have a quick introduction about IAE Global. So IAE Global started as a single office in Seoul, South Korea. Over the 28 years, IAE Global has become one of the largest and also most diverse student recruitment organizations in the world. We have become an industry leader in the international student recruitment. We have a broad base of presence in major student organic countries as well as the destination countries where our partner institutions are located, and also our clients are seeking to study in this area as well. This enables us to connect students from China, India, Japan, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Nepal, and other key markets around the world with the top tier education institutions in the States, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and other majority destination countries. The scale and the international reach of our network means we can often recruit experts in various of countries. It also means that we have a very close relationship with and also better knowledge in the institutions our students attend and would like to spend as well, like UCLan, University of Central Lancashire. So here is our London office contact details. Please do feel free to contact us after this webinar. If you are outside of the UK, I can pass you our local offices details upon your request, so you can also connect them in your home country. So now, without further ado, I will turn the time over to Rachel. I will find you here. Now, Rachel, it's your time to show your presentation to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good morning everybody, and thank you for attending this webinar with IAE and ourselves at the University of Central Lancashire, the School of Nursing. This morning I'm going to talk to you a little bit about careers in nursing. Whilst I'm talking, please feel free to ask questions via your chat, and Angela will field them in verbally to me, but also Stan, who is my colleague, who introduced himself earlier, who's a lecturer within the school, will also respond to your questions in the chat. My name's Rachel Game, and I'm a principal lecturer within the School of Nursing and also a registered nurse within the UK. So nursing in the UK, it's a regulated profession, and the regulator is the Nursing and Midwifery Council. When we talk about a regulated profession, we mean that there is a professional register that all UK nurses have to be on in order to practice within the UK as nurses. The Nursing and Midwifery Council in the UK help us to write our curriculum. They tell us which standards our student nurses have to achieve in order to register with them. Currently within the UK, there is roughly 650,000 registered nurses currently practicing within the UK. It's a large growth industry with a 22% increase in nursing roles over the last 10 years. And if you are somebody that observes UK news and watches UK news, obviously currently within the pandemic of COVID-19, we're currently experiencing a large shortage of nurses as a result of that. But even prior to COVID-19, we have approximately 40,000 vacancies in the UK for registered nurses. So it's one of the careers that is currently experiencing a shortage, and is something that the UK government is working really closely with to make sure that we can meet those vacancies. So if you work as a registered nurse, it provides a diverse range of employment and career options. You can work within the National Health Service, within our local general hospitals, the tertiary centres, which are the major hospitals within the UK. But you could also join our private and involuntary sector, where you may want to work within a nursing home or maybe a private hospital or a private clinic. So there's a wide variety of career options if you are a registered nurse within the UK. So that's a little bit of background about nursing here. So in the UK, nurses are trained and work within 4 key fields. So when in the past, many years ago, when you applied to be a nurse, you maybe applied to be a registered general nurse. That changed in the 1990s when the UK Midwifery Council decided that actually nurses needed to be what we called field specific. So their training needed to be aligned to the practice that they were going to work within. So for instance, there are 4 fields. We have adult nursing, mental health nursing, children and young people's nursing, and learning disability nursing. So when you're looking at practicing or applying within the UK, you need to be very clear about which field of nursing you may want to study. Now, that's not always an easy decision to make firsthand. Sometimes you're a little bit unsure. Certainly, I started off as an adult nurse and then did a second qualification in children and young people's nursing. So it's not always easy to know which field that you want to go in. However, if you apply for a place with us, we are looking at your personal statement to tell us which field you want to study in. So in order to find that information, it's really useful that you have a look at some of our government websites. If you have a look at the Royal College of Nursing, or you have a look at what is nursing and look at the different fields in order to enable you to make the decision of which field of nursing that you want to apply for. And on qualifying, that is the register you go on. So there isn't a general nursing register. There is a register where adult nurses sit within a part, children and young people nurses sit within a part. So once you are trained within that field, you will work within that field after qualifying. So what courses do we offer here at the University of Central Lancashire? I'm pleased to say that we're hoping from September we will offer all 4 fields, but at the moment what we currently offer is we offer the BSc Honours in Nursing with Registered Nurse, adult nursing. For adult nursing, we have 2 intakes a year, an intake in March and an intake in September. If you apply for a March place, you can study adult nursing at our Preston main campus. If you apply for a place in September, you can study adult nursing at Preston main campus, a campus in Burnley, or a campus in West Lakes in Cumbria. For mental health nursing, again, we have 2 intakes a year on the BSc programme. That's September and March. Again, at March, it is Preston only. And in September, you can apply for Preston and West Lakes for mental health nursing. Children and young people's nursing, we have 1 intake a year, and that is at September, and the delivery is only at main campus Preston. And we are hoping, after a successful approval event in April this year, that we will be able to offer BSc in learning disabilities nursing from September at Preston and West Lakes. So watch this space if learning disability is what you are interested in. We also offer an MSc in nursing with registered nurse in adult, mental health and children and young people. So again, you would apply for an MSc with registered nurse in whichever field you are interested in. This is a 2-year accelerated programme. So in order to apply for it, you need to have a health-related degree already. That is a 2-2, but you also need to have 750 practice hours in order to do the accelerated programme, because we use a process called recognition of prior learning in order for you to be able to get onto this programme. This programme is a September start only and is delivered at Preston main campus. So those are the courses that we offer. And again, we are looking to bring learning disabilities on board in September of this year. So what are the current entry requirements? So for the BSc Honours in adult nursing and mental health nursing, you need to get 96 to 112 UCAS points or equivalents. Now at the end of this, if you have any questions in relation to entry requirements, Alexandra from International Admissions will be able to answer what equivalents we would be looking for this entry criteria. So it's 96 to 112 UCAS points. For the BSc Honours in Children's and Young People's Nursing, we're looking for 112 to 120 UCAS points. For entry to all of our programmes, you must have a Maths and English GCSE, a minimum of grade C or 4, or what we class as an equivalent. And again, at the end, Alex will be able to tell you what those equivalents are. We also ask for an IELTS at 6.5 with no component less than 6.5. And again, we would look at equivalence with that in relation to the OCTO and things like that. But we ask for an IELTS in order to register with you, the Nursing and Midwifery Council, at the end of the programme. So that's the BSc. For the MSc with registered nurse adult or registered nurse mental health or registered nurse children and young people, as I say, you need to have a health related undergraduate degree with a 2-2 or higher. And you also need to have relevant work experience in a caring environment or as a volunteer. So you need to be able to demonstrate how you have met 786 practice hours through recognition of prior learning, and there is a portfolio of completion that you will need to complete in order to get a place on the master's course. Again, you must have Maths and English GCSE, minimum grade C or 4 or equivalent, or an IELTS 6.5 with no component less than 6.5. So what is the course like? So as I said at the beginning, our course is aligned with the NMC's standards for practice, and they dictate how many hours our program should be. And what they say is our program is 2,300 hours of theory and 2,300 hours of practice. So in total, the program is a 3-year program on the BSc, 4,600 hours. And the MSc, again, is 4,600 hours, but the first year we use recognition of prior learning, which is why it's covered within 2 years. The programme is broken down within specific modules, and they are theory modules and practice modules. So in year 1, we have a year-long theory module of society, health and nursing care. I'm sorry, there's a spelling error there, I've just noticed. It's it's health, not Heath. And within that, whether you are on adults, mental health, children and young people, or learning disabilities, you will study that module together. Now, the module will be a series of generic lectures where you will be taught within the lecture theatre, and at the moment we are delivering them online via Microsoft Teams, and then you will be broken down into small groups with your field specific colleagues where you will do field specific content related to society, health and nursing care. Running alongside that is a year-long practice placement as well. And in order to qualify as a nurse, you need to practice the clinical elements of the programme. And you will have to make sure at the end of each year you've passed both practice and theory in order to progress to the following year. Year 2 is where you do the field specific elements of your field on your chosen nursing field. So within your year 2, you will do a module that relates to the acute nursing care of either children and young people or mental health or adults. And then the second module you will do will relate to the chronic nursing or long-term conditions or complex care within your chosen field of nursing. And again, running alongside that, there are 2 practice modules that you will need to pass in order to transition to the final year. The final year of the BSc is Research and Innovation for Nursing Practice. And again, for the final year, you come back to that generic field of nursing where you will study together with your colleagues from the other fields. Within the course, you will normally do 2 to 3 placements per year, and they will normally be 8 to 10 weeks in length. During that time, you'll work in a variety of clinical areas, both within our NHS and private sectors. And we pride ourselves here at UCAN with our collaborative working and partnerships with our local colleagues, particularly within the local areas of Lancashire around us, so that you get a good experience of practice within your programme. You are taught by a variety of healthcare professionals. 99% of the lecturers you will meet within your programme will be registered nurses who are still practising, or if they are not practising, keep themselves up to date in order to maintain their status on the NMC register. And the programme is designed to help you to develop a practical understanding of the profession, but also the theoretical component of it, so that you can make those links to theory and practice. When you are out in practice, you can link that theoretical knowledge with it. Clinical skills is also, an important aspect of the programme. So as well as doing your time within the clinical ward environments where you will be nursing actual real life patients and caring for them and their families, you will also undertake some training within our simulation suites. Again, the University of Central Lancashire, if you want to, after this, you can go onto our website and there is a video tour of our simulation suites. We have high fidelity mannequins, which you can see in the two top pictures. These mannequins breathe, they respond to medications or treatments that you give them, and they have heart rates. We can deteriorate them if we need to, and we use them within our taught sessions. We also have basic simulation mannequins in order for you to undertake basic life support dressings and things like that. And within our simulation suites, we have a high fidelity simulation suites that has a series of the high fidelity mannequins. We also have a life-size ambulance within one of our simulation suites for our paramedic colleagues. We also have an operating theatre as well within there. One thing that is missing from our pictures is the anatomage tables, which again, when you go online, you'll be able to have a look at these. Anatomage is a dissection table that is an electronic dissection table. It is actually based on a human being who donated his body to medical science, and within that you can dissect the body and have a look at certain things, maybe, you know, the cancer of the lungs, what does that look like? But you can also have a look at the basic anatomy and physiology, and that's one of the features that we use within our training. And we have anatomage tables on all of our sites at Westlakes, Burnley and Preston, and again, innovative practice in order to develop that anatomy and physiology skills. What are the fees for 21-22? For the BSc Honours, it's £13,000 per year, and Alex will be able to respond to questions in relation to whether there is any bursaries available or scholarships. And for the MSc, it's £13,500 per year. So why would you want to come to the UK to be a nurse? The employability and earning potential in the UK is fantastic. The job market is currently excellent for qualifying students, and 99% of our UCLan graduates are employed in the nursing profession 6 months after qualification. As I mentioned earlier, there are currently 40,000 vacancies for nurses in the UK nationwide. The salaries for nurses start at £24,907 per year, going up to £30,615. If you decided you want to go into school health nursing, then that can rise from £31,000 to £37,000. Again, you may want to go up the ladder to advanced nurse practitioner, or you may want to progress to a ward manager. So there's a range of roles within the NHS that you may want to go into. There is lots of potential for further study and progressing yourself within the career, but the basic salary for every registered nurse in the UK is £24,907. So that's why you would want to come to the UK to be a registered nurse. But why would you want to come to the University of Central Lancashire? As I say, we have state-of-the-art clinical simulation suites. We also received awards this year for our student support during the COVID-19 pandemic. We have innovative staff that are constantly striving to improve the programme that we offer. We have been approved by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. We are based in a small city in Preston. However, you are 20 minutes on the train to Manchester, which is a large city, but also to Liverpool, another large city. And if you wanted to travel to London, then you are 2 hours away on the train. So that's the city life related to Preston. However, we are also an hour away from Cumbria and the Lake District. So if you are somebody that likes the country and likes to experience all the UK has to offer in relation to that, then that's another perk that we have here at the University of Central Lancashire. So for any further guidance, I do apologise. This is not my presentation, this is a colleague. I will change my email address and I will put my email address in the chat. And Stan, if you can put your email address in, that would be great. So that's my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully, you've got lots of questions that we can answer for you. I'm now going to hand this back over to Angela, and we will answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
I'm just waiting for some more questions coming up. So if you guys too shy, you can also PM me for your questions if you have any.
It seems to be popular on the scholarships queries, so we can talk about that specifically if the attendees wish to. Obviously, on the merit and the excellence that we've sort of highlighted in the example there, it does depend on the nationality, and I can see from the presentation that there may be various nationalities today. So I just gave the India award level. However, those students would be eligible for merit or excellence. I'll find the award levels in a moment. So in total, they will be eligible for the £1,000 international bursary automatically, potentially also merit or excellence, dependent on their academic level. And we also have for next year's entry, the special postgraduate award of a further £1,000 discount for nursing MSc.
Thank you. I've actually got one question here. Is there any exemption IELTS for the Indian student if they have standard 12?
Okay, Angela, what I'll do, just in case there's any more questions coming in, I'll just pop across to our guidelines and check that out.
Okay.
Bear with me one moment.
Yeah. There is another question, I think it's for Rachel. Is can proficiency certificate in nursing qualify for direct entry in bachelor degree and
Hi, Angela. I have to say that in relation to the qualifications, Alex from our international office would be better placed to answer questions in relation to the equivalence. Alex, sorry, I'll hand this one over to you, or Jamie. So yeah, in relation to entry criteria, that's not fully my forte.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Yeah, that's no problem, Rachel. Thank you. I'm just posting here the details that we just talked about for the query from the Indian student. I hope that copies across okay. So 60 or 70% in year 12 English, or the IELTS of 6.0. Does that answer the query that we had just previously?
Yeah, I think that's a standard entry for most of Indian students. If they do have the standard 12, they might be exempt from the IELTS. And for
that though, for nursing, our IELTS is 6.5 with no component less than 6.5. We wouldn't accept a 6 for nursing, sorry.
So a little bit higher then?
Yes.
Yeah, it's understandable because it's medicine.
Yeah, it was initially 7, but we have managed to get it down to 6.5, but that's in all components. That's not across, that's in every component.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel. While I was busy finding the entry requirements for India, and I missed the previous question, Angela, sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, can proficiently certificate in nursing qualify for direct entry in bachelor degree or not?
For which nationality would that be?
I think it should be Nepal.
Right, okay. Can you just bear with me another moment while I just look into that specific query?
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, no problem.
Rachel, I think this question should be for you. I got another question here. It's asking, during the pandemic time, how could students practice? So I think that's related to the nursing students, the current nursing student.
Yeah, so currently during the pandemic, we're still experiencing the programme that is still governed by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Currently, a lot of our delivery is being delivered online, so the theoretical components is being delivered online, but clinical simulation training, mandatory training is being delivered in the university in small bubbles, so students are still coming into the university, and our practice partners, I'm pleased to say, are still accepting all of our students into their clinical placements. So our student nurses are actually in practice within their clinical learning environments. They are receiving the vaccinations as we speak in order to make them safe during practice. But yes, our students are all still in clinical nursing practice. So that part of the programme has not been impacted currently with the pandemic.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank
Another question raised. Could you please provide an example of progression of a student becoming a registered nurse for who is currently a nurse in Nepal and who is willing to study BSc nursing in the UK? I think that can cover not only Nepal, but all the overseas students as well. If they are currently a qualified nurse in overseas, how can they register a registered nurse in the UK, and also who want to apply for the BSc nursing in the UK so basically how to register the UK registered nurse.
There's two options. The first thing to do would be to have a look at the Nursing and Midwifery Council website for international nurses. There is a series of countries on there which you can automatically apply to join the register here within the UK. You wouldn't need to do the BSc nurse training. What you have to do is what's called an objective structured clinical examination. So you would have to do a clinical examination with the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and they would decide whether they were okay to register you within the UK. There is only certain countries that they allow that for. Apologies, I don't know all of the countries, but I'm sure Stan will put a link onto the Nursing and Midwifery Council page for me. If you are not on that list, then you can apply for the BSc nursing. You could also apply for recognition of prior learning. So we could have a look at the nursing that you've done in your country to see whether any of that learning would transfer across for year one, so that we could look at you doing a shortened programme over 2 years. But that would be very much dependent on what you had studied within your country. So either go through the Nursing and Midwifery Council to see if you can register with them, or if not, do the BSc, but let us know on application. Stan is our international admissions tutor, so he would be able to send the RPL documentation and we could have a look to see whether that would enable you to do a shortened programme.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. So any more questions, please raise. If I miss any questions in the chat box, please just retype it out. I think there are lots of chatting in the chat box right now.
I think Angela, that I've answered the ones that were outstanding there. There's another query here.
For Nepal student, the same as Indian student for entry level requirement.
And I posted earlier on. So it's 60% overall from the recognised Nepali exam boards. The same English language level as Rachel indicated.
I got another question here, PME, which is asking how the online course will be run if nursing is running the online course. Is it nursing in the online learning right now?
It's not a full online course. We're not fully online because obviously nurses have to do clinical placement. So currently the theoretical component is being delivered online via Microsoft Teams. So we have a series of events. So some sessions are recorded so students can do them at their leisure. Our examinations are still being delivered and being delivered online. Any assignments are submitted online, but then we also have live Teams taught sessions. As well as that, we have students coming into the university to undertake their mandatory training and clinical skills. And we also have students that have to go out into clinical practice. So it's what we call a blended learning approach. We are not fully delivering the programme online because in order to meet the NMC requirements, students have to be in clinical practice and have to undertake their mandatory training.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I'm not wrong, I think most of the UK university, we are saying we might be reopened from the 8th of March. Is it the same to UCLan as well?
I think the answer to that is yes, but we're watching very closely to see what the government will say in response to that. There has been talk in the national media to say that universities and schools will open on the 8th of March, but no decisions have been made firmly yet. So there is chances that that may not happen. We are completely being guided by our government at the moment in relation to what happens with COVID-19. So we are hoping to open in March, but again, that would be a blended learning approach. That would not be full return to all students being on campus at the same time, because obviously we need to maintain safety. So we will be watching very closely to see what Boris Johnson tells us in relation to what will happen in March. So watch this space is that answer, but we will still continue to offer some form of blended learning.
Thank you, Rachel.
Angela, and I just wondered, is it worth me giving the attendees an overview as to where we are? I don't know how much the delegates know about UCLan at all, based on the session that we did before Christmas. So I'm happy to run through a bit of information about location to set the scene if it would help.
Yes, it will be very helpful. Thank you.
People might have some more questions that way as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angela. Do you want to just let me?
Yeah,
it's just again, thank you for the opportunity to present to you today. We have worked with IAE London for a number of years, off and on, but in the last 6 months we've really connected much more concretely. So we're hoping to deliver more of these sessions, perhaps monthly, with different subject areas as we move across. So please let us know what subjects you want to hear about. And thank you to Rachel and Stan today. We are UCLan, and that stands for the University of Central Lancashire. Central Lancashire is the county, but we're in the city of Preston. That can often be a little bit misleading to applicants from overseas, so just to explain that to you. We're a long-standing university, a very long history from 1828, but we're extremely modern, with some excellent results there on graduation and our students moving into employability. Here are our key rankings. You can see that we've done extremely well in recent Complete University Guide rankings. And we've also been ranked first in the UK for our well-being, which has been especially important to us during the COVID pandemic year. The investment here, this is important to show you how much we've invested, over £200 million in our master plan. So Engineering Innovation Centre on the left, our social spaces, and the big new development there on the right of the screen, the Student Centre, which we're hoping will open later this year. This just shows our location that I identified in the first couple of slides. So we're in a small city of Preston. That brings benefits of being safe and affordable, and a great location for moving across to other parts of the UK, great connections, an extremely friendly environment. There's lots of green space. So it's a great place to visit, and obviously when we're able to do so, we're happy to manage more virtual sessions to show you other parts of the campus as well. Rachel did mention about the campus structure and part of the courses, in particular in the School of Medicine and Nursing, being at other campuses. We have Burnley, West Lakes, and also a campus in Cyprus, which might be quite interesting to some applicants for certain courses. That could perhaps be in another session in the near future. Just to show you a little bit about accommodation, all students will be offered a place in our halls. You'll be able to look at that video at your leisure. So our halls are obviously located in the heart of campus, with a very affordable rate of £75 to £130 roughly. And there are also lots of offers that we have with private accommodation that we can support students with. The virtual tour, you can find this link on our website, and you can pretty much self-guide yourself around all the key departments of the university, including nursing, and see some of the facilities that Rachel identified. You can see that from left to right, north to south, the campuses, you can travel on foot in 5 to 10 minutes. Everything's in a very, very well located. These are some of the USPs that we like to explore with students. So guaranteed accommodation, a low cost of living, the wonderful investment that we've made in making the campus really excellent for students. We are very focused on mental health and enabling students to enjoy completely free access to our amazing sports centre, to have a great balance of work and study. We've talked a lot about course fees and tuition. These are the range of subjects. I know our focus today is nursing. We offer pretty much everything from A to Z in terms of courses. And if you have anything specific you want to explore, then please do contact me about those. Course fees we've talked about. Here are the scholarships that we mentioned. I didn't mention, it hadn't come up at the time, but there is also a family discount. So this is for if you have a spouse or sibling and another who's attended UCLan previously, then you would be eligible for a further £1,000 discount with some of the other awards that we've mentioned. So in total, students can look to take £5,000 off their total academic tuition fee. Application is direct. You can apply straight into our online application system. You'll be generated a unique reference number that you can keep log with and contact us to find out updates on your application. And some students still wish to go through UCAS, but we would encourage you to apply online with the support of IAE or directly. And this just outlines what you need in terms of the application, passport. Sorry, my presentation is skipping ahead without me pressing it. just leaving you here with my contact details, some key admissions contact details there, and don't forget our social media channels are a great way of keeping in touch with current students as well as new applicants joining in the same year as yourselves. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra. I got one question here. How easier to find a part-time job in Preston? I don't really know.
Yeah,
any more job opportunities there?
Yes, there are opportunities. We have a UCLan Career Centre. I didn't include it on the slide, but students take a few options for part-time work, obviously being conscious of the visa requirements on the number of hours, but lots of students work internally, so work in our contact centre and become ambassadors for UCLan. And in those roles, they would work on our call centre or on our e-communications with other students, and that is paid work through our call centre and on our conversion teams. Obviously, there's also other opportunities within Preston when things are back to normal. There's opportunities for retail and leisure employment, and there can also be opportunities for something more career specific that your tutor will be able to advise you with in terms of work experience. So there's lots of options.
I can add to that, Alex, as well. Lots of our student nurses join what we call the bank or the bench within the local hospitals. So they join as healthcare assistants, and they can undertake paid work on their days off as part of that. So they can't practice as a student nurse when they are working as a healthcare assistant, but they are still experiencing delivery of healthcare within the local NHS trusts and surrounding areas.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Alexandra. I just want to end up some bit, because if I'm not wrong, for the nursing, there is a kind of immigration route which is it's called skilled worker for medical or for medical training. So if the students graduated with some certain medical subject, including doctor, including nursing and the carer, they can easily find a job in the UK. And the point-based system for those kind of people is easier than the normal skilled worker. So that's the new UK visa regulation, just delivery, I think, from the 1st of December last year. So for the skilled worker who is working for the medical or medical industry, it's very easier to get a job in the UK.
Excellent. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you. I think we cover most of the questions now. And yeah, so we are coming to the end of the presentation. So before we wrap up, Rachel and Alexandra, do you have anything want to end up?
Rachel, you first.
Just to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Something that is important to add is obviously in order to apply, we're looking at personal statements. So we want you to complete a personal statement that's really clear as to why you want to become a nurse. So we want to hear about that caring and compassion that you may hold. We also want you to apply specifically for which field. So again, as I said earlier, we don't have general nursing. If you are interested in children's nursing or mental health nursing, you make it very clear in your application why you want to do that specific field as opposed to one of the others. And then in order to prepare for the interviews, we do what is called a values-based interview. So all places for nursing programs have to have an interview. That's one of our governing body requirements. We use what we call the NHS Constitution and the NHS values. Again, Stan will put a link to that into the chat so that you can have a look at that if you are invited to an interview with us. And thank you again for attending this morning and for hosting us, Angela. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rachel. It was really useful. Thank you.
I heard something. Is there a question here? So I think that's it for today. And Alexandra, do you have anything you want to end up?
Thank you, Angela, and just to echo Rachel's thanks to you for organising the session so promptly after the one before Christmas. More than happy to look at other subjects or to recap on nursing. We could look at personal statement work specifically if it would help, and looking at the interview and the NHS Constitution and values perhaps on another session if that would help applicants. So you and I can talk about that separately. One of the attendees here today as an observer is our new team member, Jamie, who joined us in January. So Jamie will be helping with a lot of this activity going forward. So Jamie's been observing today to get up to speed on some of these areas. So you'll be hearing his name more as we go ahead as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jamie, as well. And actually, we have another webinar with University of Central Lancashire, which is on the. So if you will be interested, please put a notice and just mark down the date on the 5th of April. And so we will deliver another topic. We haven't decided yet, right? So we can talk about this in details later. Yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody to join this webinar. And if you do have any questions, please do feel free to contact Alexandra or contact the IAE directly. So thank you guys. Bye for now.
Thanks everyone. Thanks Angela.
Thank you.
Thanks Rachel and Stan.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay well. Bye. Take care.